Couldn't take it at ground level. Sherman. Power working overtime across half back. Finds big Clark Keating. Rockets the ball to the general, to Voss. Rowe does well. Just a roll of the shoulders. Runs through the centre square and hammers the ball to the square. Here comes Bradshaw running with the flight. He's got it.
Brilliant, mate.
He's the danger man. If they can get the ball quickly into Bradshaw, we know he can kick 6 or 7. It could be a lone hand up forward. There's no Ackermanis this week to weave some magic. Roughhead thought he had it and it's been pinched. Bradshaw. What a goal! He's the gun tonight, Gerard. He's the big danger to Hawthorn.
He's the man that can win them the game, KB. I think you're spot on. But just have a look at this. Ball is taken down with great intent, great purpose already. You can see the Hawks blokes trying to flood back. And it was 1 against 3, and he had no right to mark that ball, Dick Bradshaw, and he just absolutely pinched it. And Jared Roughhead, he'll have to do better than that.
Superb mark and finish by Bradshaw. He gets the Lions' opening goal, gets the margin back to 23 points. Set to go in the second quarter. Haven't won here for almost 6 years. They're looking to make a change. The Lions looking to make a change in the tone of the game as Voss gets a clearance and get it to Drummond, who's gone forward. Here's a long kick. He's too far out here. He's not too far out now. It's a 50-metre penalty. It should be a goal to the Lions. Lewis can't believe it.
I think Alistair Clarkson would be similarly dismayed. You just wouldn't believe that you could make a mistake like that when you've got the side, the favoured home side on the ropes. You give away a 50-metre penalty, which just makes a certainty of this goal. Good start to the Lions. And then a couple, Kevin, they can all of a sudden, the crowd will get excited and, gee, the pressure does come to bear.
So this is a gimme for Drummond. Hasn't kicked a goal this season, just 9 in his short career. And a little bit of push and shove to go on with. Lewis not happy. They're pretty young up for the Lions. They haven't got much to push with.
We did see last week, though, that the Brisbane Lions have got still plenty of fight, and particularly with those older stars, they can rally the troops. And if they can get a bit of a sniff, you're right here at the Gabba, the crowd will get right behind them.
Jared Brennan, much to look forward to with his career.
Hawks by 17 points, 33 plays, 16. 5-3 to 2-4. Here's Copeland, just with a wry smile. Taylor, beautiful tap to ball, wrapped up by Power. Takes the free kick.
Caught a throw.
The throw. Here's Clark Keating, straight into the action. Rockets the ball, finds Moody. He's a runner. Right to 50, unloads, right to the line. He's a talent. I like to see players, Jared, when they get space, back themselves in, take on the opposition and run with the ball. He does it well, Moody. He
does. He's been rewarded, been recognised in the Rising Star Award, the NAB Rising Star Award, and that's why, because he's a talent. And right now, the Brisbane Lion young kids have got themselves back into the game. Jared Brennan's starting to do some work. Riscatelli is starting to get some footy. And Moody just kicked the goal they needed.
Lions back to within 14 points. Kicked 3 of the last 4 goals.
And Buckley looks like he can play to 44.
Well, I think what we're seeing is that there's so little between a lot of the sides. I don't think you can afford to have your good players out of the action. Here's Brennan, stands outside 50. You would think the distance is far too great. Kicks a high ball. This is a one for the high flies. Clark Keating got his hands on the Sharon. Breaking through is Voss. Make that black, gives it across to Bradshaw. Kicks a big goal.
Well, it's a carbon copy at the other end, isn't it? Kick to the big men, let them have a fly, find a crummy, you get a goal.
Well, and of course you'll generally find it's one of the good players who can actually read the ball off the pack's hands, and we see here with Clark Keating nearly took it, and there was Black with those clean hands. Good players, Gerard, never fumble.
Well, he did it beautifully there, Black. I'd just like to see big Zachariah Dawson go the punch here. I'm not sure if we'll see it. In fact, we won't. We did in the first replay. Go up and punch it clear.
Bradshaw's got 2 for the evening out of the Lions 4. Slipped it to Harding, Voss, Black, Scott, Sherman. They share through the middle of the ground. Sherman went too long. Roughhead missed it. Sharman trying to keep his feet. Got to beat 2. Tapped it back to Moody. Moody stepping. Ran out of room, slipped it to Power. He doesn't miss many. Lions get 2 in a row. Persistence pays. And a fair punch by Power in that battle that you're talking about there, Gerard.
Yeah, it was a good blow. I'm not sure it was on Mitchell. In fact, as we know, Mitchell up the other end, but that won't be taken into consideration. This was the Lions' best goal. They brought it with about 7 numbers from the half-back line. They laid it off by hands, then the quick hit in, and it was Moody who set up that shot at goal for Luke Power with some pretty smart hands under pressure. Good game of footy here at the Gabba.
I reckon, Gerard, you can see a good player who wants to pick the ball up off the ground with one grab. He doesn't want to paddle the ball along the ground and try and tickle the ball up. Just puts his hands on the ball and grabs it, and that's what Moody did.
And they've got some room in the middle. Stiller on the right boot. Sharman. Hooper steals it. Misses his target. Murphy gave it up. Drummond. There's a long kick. Measures the pass to Charman. It's a good one. Charman has the chance to make amends for his early miss.
I like Charman on the forward line when he goes there because he attacks the ball. Not trying to attack in the air, but of course he's got to have teammates like Hooper and Drummond have got to get to the fall of the ball just in case he doesn't mark it, but he does attack it hard.
He's a clever user of the ball, Drummond.
Yeah, that was just a great kick. He waited, he read Shamey Sharman, and he set it up perfectly for him.
Margin 19, right behind Jamie Charman to bring it back. He does. And he's happy because he's missed a few. 11 goals, 8 for the season. And the first goal for the second half to Jamie Charman.
Well, I was giving him a big rap in the first half of the commentary, Campbell Brown, but running off that half-back line, you just got to do more with the footy and dish it straight back to the opposition. Because it does come back pretty quickly, and if they maintain possession, it's generally Russian roulette as to whether they get a goal. And Lee Matthews would have said at half-time, you can win the game for us, Sharman. Wasted opportunity, Kev. Sharman's was all there, and he just needed a good kick from Daniel Bradshaw.
Great tackle, Dawson. Harding's only a slight player. It was bound to get free, and Dawson held on for dear life.
Chance for the Lions. Riscatelli shovels the ball out to Sherman. Stands outside 50, spears the ball in, finds Charman. I like Charman on the forward line.
He just looks like a natural forward up there. He thinks...
Well, I think it's a young kid he played up forward. I can remember speaking to him once. And I can remember a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago, one of the practice games, Lee put in the full forward and he kicked about 6 goals. And I thought then that maybe when Alice Lynch retired that the move was to move Charman forward and have Big Bo McDonald in the ruck. But unfortunately, Bo McDonald has suffered so many injuries. But maybe tonight it can work. There's no Ackermanis tonight, no magic from Acker, but maybe from this man Charman. Can he bend it through? Yes, he can! Well, he's a different type of player than Acker. Acker had the speed and that power and that explosiveness against the Kangaroos, but maybe it's just going to be the high leaping and bulk and strength of Big Charman up forward, and he attacks the ball so hard, Gerard.
He's so tough to stop, and look, he's had a great year. I spoke to Spider Everett following his appearances on White Line Fever during the week, and that's his second goal. And I asked him who should be Ruckman of the Year. His choice was Jamie Sharman.
Sharman proving a handy forward for the Lions. It's goal for goal at the Gabba, Saturday night, third quarter. Margin 13. Keating is having an influence in the ruck. Got it to Voss. Again, Riscatelli. Ball at ground level. Drummond. High ball. Where's Charman? Standing on his own in the square. Dawson did well to get in the way. Hooper, the will o' the wisp. That's a great goal, Hooper! I have no doubt, Kevin, if he plays a lot of footy, he will be a crowd favourite here at the Gather because he can make something happen.
Can he do handstands?
He may have to because there'll be no one left to do it.
That is exciting. He nearly kicked a big one in the second quarter. Didn't quite find the big sticks, but this was just straight up in the air. Looked like the Hawks had it covered, but on the sling, he made it happen.
They're within 7 points, the Lions. We saw this last week against the Kangaroos. There's plenty of spirit at the Brisbane Lions. Fascinated to know what's going to be that big announcement at the press conference after the game. Tiffany Cherry told us at halftime. The wild man from Borneo's back.
He's been hiding in the Blue Mountains. He's been called, and he's answering the call.
Boss, back to Keating. Strutting his stuff on hands and knees. Boss hits the target in row. Edge of the centre square. Here comes Charman. Couldn't take it. Roughhead. Run down by Bradshaw. He's been pinned.
Well, it's now or never for the Hawks. They've got to answer this challenge. The crowd's getting involved, and we've had a goal from Hooperman, and now we've got another chance for a goal from Bradshaw. This is really tough stuff for the Hawks, and this is what makes the young kids grow, Kev. They're going to have to answer the challenge under enormous pressure.
Going for his third goal, Bradshaw directly in front. Within 2 points. 1 point. It's at 1 point. Let's get the scoreboard. 65 to 66. 10-6, 66, 9-11, 65. They've changed it on the scoreboard, and he's got three big ones.
Well, it wasn't a definitive kick, but it just did enough through the air. It was almost like the slow ball from Terry Alderman. It swung back late, and she got the desired result. Under pressure with Jared Roughhead. Didn't get it away.
Well, just when Hawthorn kicked away, the Lions have come from nowhere with 3 goals in a matter of 3 minutes.
He's a hard runner, Sherman.
They have been two dynamos tonight. And Scott, one of the crowd favourites, goes for a trot. Weighs up the options, goes short, finds Drummond. There's a good kick. Charman is signalling. Kick it to me, kick it to me. Hovers in the goal square. Here's the lead from Bradshaw. It's a great kick, Drummond. Hits the spot. And any score will put the Lions in front. He's booted 3 goals, 1 in the first quarter, 1 in the second, and 1 in the third. And the twin attack has worked. Bradshaw and Charman, and Keating has been tireless in this third term. Bradshaw stands right on 50. Great kick. Straight through the heart of the Hawks. 4 goals. We said, Jared, that he was the gun-up forward. Now he's got a partner in crime. It's going to be tough for the Hawks to contain him.
And it's really worked because they haven't been able to flood back as they did in the second quarter on Bradshaw. They've put Jamie Charman up there, and now all of a sudden they don't know who to flood to. We saw Luke Hodge working his way back.
Can Keating keep going?
Well, I don't think it's a bad swap if Keating goes to goal square. He can also kick goals.
4 in a row to Brisbane, and the crowd in full voice because they've hit the front. Charman couldn't take it.
Well done, Lewis.
Did well. Roughhead, untidy but still has enough time. Well, he might need it. Hodge trying to settle things for Hawthorn. They can't settle coming out of their 50. They're gone again. And it's good chasing by the Lions forwards. Hooper chipping over the top. Brennan. That's the second tackle in this quarter. Players coming out, they're chasing hard.
His turnaround has been unbelievable since Crowe bombed that ball into the forward line. And
Hodge took a mark, had a shot for goal.
Yep.
And he went to the line. It's been all the home team since. Brennan to put the Lions 2 goals in front. They like it. They love it. Went through about post high. Nice finish. And they've got the crowd going, and it's danger time for the Hawks, Jared.
Well, we're going to find out a bit about the Hawks in this next 40 minutes because they've lost their flow, they've lost their run, they've lost a bit of their structure, and they're not winning the footy, so they can turn that around, but Lewis has to get some. Crawford and Hodge have to get some footy. Ball's got to keep the hard tag on Simon Black, can't let him get free, and they've got to neutralise Big Keating and the ruck.
Brennan takes a breather. 6 goals to 2 in this third term in favour of the Lions. Campbell Brown across half back. Kicks a high ball. Hatful closed very, very quickly. It was very, very tough for Vandenberg. Thumped back over the line in the dying seconds of the game. And the Brisbane Lions have pulled off another big win 2 weeks in a row. Came from behind last week to beat the Kangaroos. And today they trailed by 23 points at quarter time and 12 points at half time. Played a great third term, got back to 12 points in front. And it's a 10-point ball game.
Found themselves a player in Sherman. I know he's been impressing up here for over a year now. But tonight, maybe one of his finest games, if not his best.
Good to see Clark Keating back. No doubt about that. And Hooper's excited. And the Lions have won by 10 points. But the big news is to come at the press conference. We only assume it's about Jason Ackermanis. What could it be?
Well, the Lions have got home by 10. They had to work very hard for it. Hawthorn brilliant early. Set them on the back foot. They got things going in the second half. And they've got the crowd in some pretty good voice as well. Bradshaw with 4. Keating starting it in the middle. Charman went forward to kick a couple. And the Lions win 2 in a row. Let's go down the boundary with Tiffany Cherry.